Hey everybody, it's Ruby here today, and I wanted to talk about a class that I'm currently taking on media, culture, and society, where one of the topics that was briefly discussed was the idea of YouTube. And I thought that I would talk about some of my own thoughts about it to you guys on YouTube, because why, you couldn't get any more meta than that. So as most people know, a lot of the media that we're exposed to is owned by only a small number of companies that have a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. They tend to own many different kinds of media, whether it's books, TV shows, movies, and with that comes a lot of discussions and a lot of worries that the media that we're being presented is under this one big guise of one company. A company that exists for their revenue. So not only is there a lack of diversity in their opinion, or at least more of a question of what kind of diversity there is if you consider, you know, this conglomerate of sort of media areas, but it also teaches us to buy into an idea or a product. We're presented with a certain kind of lifestyle and we want to fulfill that with the products. So one example that I always like to think about is perfume. A lot of people sell perfume by showing these like mini short commercial videos where there's like some attractive woman running down a hallway with a pretty dress, and somehow that's related to the perfume. And to me, the reason it's related to the perfume is because they're selling this luxurious idea of the product, that you will become this sort of person. And people buy the perfume because they see those commercials and they think that they could become that sort of idea. With the advent of the internet, a lot of the media that we've been exposed to has become more demographic. We could, with ad block, be exposed to people's opinions without the influence of media beyond what they've been taught with their blogs or their videos. And one of the influences of this is YouTube. On the one hand, it's a do-it-yourself culture. Anybody with a camera or a phone can upload videos of their own opinions or of cat videos and potentially reach millions of people. I'm filming a YouTube video in my dining room with a $100 digital camera with free editing software, talking mostly about thrift store books that I bought for maybe $1 a piece. It is a subversive type of media that is undermining what we used to think that media was. That of these professional, paid people that present like a packaged idea and give it to us in the form of articles or TV programs. And to some people who like base their professions on it, it has become a bit scary. Yet the more I think about this sort of grand democratic idea of media, the more I think about the exceptions. My most viewed video on this channel isn't actually about books. It's about my plug collection. It's about the plugs that I bought and how I store them and what I like about them. Something that most people watch because they want to buy plugs. And as I've been doing this channel, I've bought more stuff. I've bought more books. I've bought a camera. I've been buying stationery as I've been watching planner videos. So whenever we watch something, we are still buying into this sort of idea or this lifestyle. And the thing about hauls is that we are buying things and then presenting them to other people so that they can buy them as well. And I think another problem too is that a lot of people will present hauls which are sponsored or advertisements. Lately, I think that we've had to like put whether that's an ad like in the title or in the description to show like some sort of transparency of what we're doing. But at the same time, it's sort of weird that that exists, right? Like hauls, which were just literally people showing what they bought, has become, this is what I've been given by companies to advertise to this audience that I have. going beyond that, a lot of the big name YouTube celebrities became celebrities because they signed on to networks or agencies. Zoella, someone with 8 million subscribers, is technically a success story. She started out doing this as a hobby in her bedroom, and over the last 5 years she has made a living out of it. Yet at the same time, when I mention her, I hesitate because the book that she recently published was ghostwritten, or at least influenced by a ghostwriter. So the book that she's saying she wrote is not her words. Not because this is somehow immoral. I think that's an entirely different video altogether, and one that'll list off a lot of books that you'd be surprised are in fact ghostwritten, but it takes the self-made person out of the equation. At what point are you sold because of your brand? I'm not saying this because I have an answer, and I'm not saying this because I think we should rise against the man or that capitalism or consumerism is wrong, but I think it's an interesting idea to mull over. Because as YouTube has become more popular, it's become less distinguishable from television programs. And at the same time, I have to ask, well, does that matter? So I want to hear what you guys think. As the YouTube audience, do you think that these videos are an improvement on previous media? Do you think that there was a change once companies started to catch on to YouTube? Do you think that this is always going to happen with new media, that there's going to be a sort of saturation of products that we're going to want to buy? Do you think that it's just human nature to want to buy things? And maybe most importantly, I'm publishing this on YouTube, so does that change the message that I'm saying? So comment, like, subscribe, do your thing, and I will talk to you guys next week.